Hi, and welcome again to another episode of The Consistency Queen. My name is Elsa Morgan. I'm a wife and my mum, and I also own a global women's empowerment company. I'm here to share with you all the things that it's taken me to build a seven-figure business and also live a seven-figure life. Today, I want to share with you how and what it takes to build to the next level. How do you go to the next level? There's a lot of information out there that talks to you about some of the stuff that is required to achieve your goals. But to be perfectly honest, it requires a very specific and intentional strategy that you need to install into your life and commit to no matter where you are and how you feel about where you're going. A lot of people don't truly understand the intentional effort, the energy, the focus of what it really takes to get there. And so today, I want to share with you exactly what it's taken me, because I will always tell you the truth. And some of it may seem a little bit out there, but maybe it's out there because it's never been said before. And the reality is to create a life where you get to create every single day. Like for me, I'm co-creating my reality with God every single day. Every single day, I get to wake up and decide how life is going to play out. And yes, I have my own business that I run every single day. I'm the CEO of my company, and I liaise with contractors and people that help me to build this business. But at the end of the day, I get to decide how I do it and why I do it. And so a lot of people want to go to the next level. A lot of people want to create a life where they get to choose whatever it is that they want to do. But are they really prepared to do what it takes? The information that I share with you today may seem a little bit extreme at times, may seem like, hey, I don't even know if this is for me. But I'm here to tell you that everything and anything that you see in your mind and you desire is for you. It's intended for you. There's no doubt about that. But the reality is that maybe you haven't been told exactly what it takes, and you need to understand that just half-assing it, just tiptoeing, just showing up when it feels right for you is never ever going to create the life that you want. It's never going to end up with you achieving your goals. In fact, it's probably going to give you a lot more of, you're going to get a lot more disheartened. But if you commit and you stick to the plan that I give you, the steps that I give you, and you just commit to it over time, there is no reason why you won't start seeing a shift in reality at the very minimum. I can't promise you exact goals. I can't promise you a time frame, but I will promise you this: a change in behavior, a change in the energy, and a change in the focus, and also mastering your emotions and also your thoughts. I mean, all things are possible. But if you keep thinking that, the journey is meant to be with ease and flow, and that you're meant to feel good to be able to do the things that you want to achieve, I couldn't tell you that is the truth, because it's simply not. In fact, more often than not, you're going to be wildly uncomfortable. You're going to want to do other things that make you feel good, but are they going to produce the things that you need to do to achieve the goals, that work towards the goals that you want? Probably not. It's often the things that make you wildly uncomfortable that are going to create the biggest shifts that you need. So let's get started. Grab a pen and paper, because I guarantee you this episode will shift your perspective on why you perhaps haven't achieved the goals that you want to achieve, and what you need to do from here on in. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to decide what it is that you want to achieve. And it sounds simplistic enough. It sounds like, hey, that sounds pretty boring. I've heard this before. And yes, you probably have. But have you really decided? Have you really gotten clear on what it is that you want to achieve? Have you really identified the things that are going to get you out of bed every day? The reason why I say that is because oftentimes people don't set goals that they really want out of fear that they won't achieve them. They oftentimes set goals that they know that are within their, in their reach. But that doesn't really get you out of bed. And that's probably why you're constantly giving yourself an out, because it's not what you really want. And even though you have zero idea of, how you're going to get there, I'm going to tell you this, it's not your business. It's none of your business to know that. You have to have a starting point. Yes, you have to have some sort of framework plan that's going to, get you started. But along the way, there are going to be obstacles, challenges, information that you're going to receive and you need to be able to get you to where you want to go. Without you starting and without you committing to the process, there's no chance that you're going to get there. But don't sacrifice what you really want simply because you're afraid that it's never going to happen. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee that if you don't go for what you want, you definitely not get it. So you may as well go after what you want rather than settle for what you receive. There is no fulfillment in just receiving what you receive and then going, you know what, it's not really what I want. Just go for it now. You'll be surprised that by you getting started and moving along, the doors, the information, the resources come to you anyway. I can tell you that from experience. There's been many times where I have had no idea how to get somewhere. And yet I've started the process, and then bits of pieces of information via the way of obstacles, challenges, things out of left field that I've presented. I go, oh, I need to do that, or I need to understand that, or I need to learn that. And that helps you along the way. But not starting or not going for it will guarantee that you won't ever achieve it. All right, number 2. This is probably one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you, regardless of what you do and what business that you're in. And that is, you have to commit to sticking to it, sticking to the journey, committing to the process, and not quitting regardless of what happens. This is the thing that a lot of people do not talk about, is you need to say, I'm going to do this no matter what, no matter how, and I'm not going to give myself an out. I'm not going to quit. I may have some days that are challenging. I may have some days that are going to be slower than others, but I am never going to stop until I get there. Committing to the process no matter what is one of the separator behaviors between people that don't achieve what they want to achieve versus those that go on and do it. Because the reality is you don't know everything that you need to know to achieve the goals that you desire. Otherwise, you would already be there. And so what will happen is that you will start on your journey, you'll work on it, you'll be conversing with people every day, you'll put out content every day, but there's going to be things that will come back to you. Information, the universe will reflect back your thoughts and beliefs via the way of things that you feel about, that present in your life. There'll be obstacles, challenges, things that just come out of left field that you haven't taken into consideration when you started, simply because you didn't know that was important or that even was necessary as part of your journey. Regardless, you need to keep going, and you need to commit to that before you get started, that you're going to keep going no matter what. And committing to just finishing off, committing to sticking to the plan no matter what comes your way, is going to far separate you to anyone else, because most people don't set that intention. Most people only want to stick to the plan, to the goal, to the journey if they know they can get there. And that is a recipe for failure. No one knows when, how, what. There are no guarantees. And in fact, sometimes the things that you think that you need right now, that you desire right now, will invariably change as you change and evolve. There are some things that I thought I wanted There were some things that I thought that were really important to me once upon a time that I look back now and go, well, that was me back then, but it's not important right now. So you will evolve and change, and so will your needs and desires. But as you keep getting to know you and who you really are, what you really want will become apparent. That's not with all things, because some things exactly what it is that you want to achieve. But there are some other things, like peripheral things, that may not be so important the more that you travel along. And, for me, that's particularly been the case with just, designer stuff. And that once upon a time, I really wanted to have all the things. And like now, I don't need to have that to know that I'm wealthy. I don't need to showcase that for people to think that I'm wealthy. And their opinion don't matter anyway. What matters is what I care about. And I don't need to have those things as confirmation of where I am right now and who I've become. But once upon a time, I placed such an importance to it that it drove me to an obsession to have the next best thing. But now it's just a non-event. I love to have them, yes, absolutely, but it's not so important for me. But then going back to my point is get clear on the fact that you need to be committed. You need to be committed to the end. No matter what obstacles, no matter what challenges, no matter how much adversity, hate, whatever comes your way, this is the end game for you. This is what you're working on, and this is what you're going to be doing. Okay? Okay, so number 3, you also have to decide that you are prepared to go to the next level. You have to decide that you are. So not only get clear on what it is that you want to achieve, but you also have to decide that you are going to do this, and not only sticking to it, but you're doing it, and you're doing it now. Not when it's perfect, not when, you have all your ducks in a row, as we say here in Australia, or, not when, you have more time on your hands. You're doing it now. Because there's no better time than now, no better time than the present. The more that you keep putting things off, the more that you'll find reasons not to get started. You've got to commit, hey, this is what I want to do, and I'm starting it today. Even if it's the smallest step, start today, because you know what? Something else will appear tomorrow that will distract you and take you away from the feeling, the desire of what you have today. Start today. Get even some sort of a plan together and just get yourself in motion. Just start taking even the smallest of actions and just commit to the fact that today is day 1. Okay? Number 4, you have to commit in being the best version of yourself. What do I mean by that? Because a lot of people say, well, how do I know what that looks like? Well, I want you to think about, the thing that you ultimately want to achieve, the end game, your vision, as they say. What does that look like for you? And more importantly, the person that is going to be living that life, your version, what do you look like in that version? What are you going to be doing every day? How will you be dressing every day? Who are you going to be speaking to every day? What will you be doing every single day? Like, how will you be impacting the world? What sort of contribution will you be doing? And I ask that because what's stopping you from doing that now? What's stopping you from stepping into that version right now, today? And you can't say to me money, because whether you have money or you don't have money doesn't affect how you show up. Your energy, your mind, your focus are all intrinsic. They're all within you. And, a little bit of a side note on manifestation. You can't call in wealth or bring in more wealth unless you become it first. So why don't you play this out? Why don't you just, a little hack that I play, I pretend I'm in a movie. I'm the main character, which is, by the way, the truth. You are the main character in your journey. You are the main character in your life. Be that main character. What would that wealthy version of you, what would they be doing every day? How would they be dressing up? How would they be speaking? What sort of energy and vibrancy and, sort of like magnetic energy would you bring? Because ultimately, this is what's going to fast track you the most. What is it going to take for you to get there? And for me, it's like dressing as the ultimate me. my hair has to be, on point and done. And, the shabby kind of me might feel wealthy, but I won't really feel like I'm truly wealthy because I'm not showing up as my highest version. What about the way that I think? What about the people that I surround myself with? What about the information that I consume every day? All of these things play a part in the wealthiest version, the highest level, the next level version of me. And what does that look like for you? And for some people, they have no idea. They have no idea what that is. And the way that I, dealt with that whenever I felt like I don't even know what I could look like, I would go around and look at who has achieved what I want to achieve. Who has the results? Who has the life? And then I'd go and look at them. And if their values and their person and, the way that they think mirrors, like if I could resonate with that, then I start following and I pay attention and I try and understand, the books that they're reading, the things that they do every single day, and I embody them. And that's exactly what I've done time after time again. My mentors have values that I have as well. They have results that I aspire to achieve. So then I mirror their actions. I read the books that they're reading. I apply myself the way that they're applying. And as scary as it is, I have to go there to become that version. And so when you commit to become the ultimate version of you, what you're saying to the universe, God, spirit, whatever it is that you tap into is, I'm committing to that version that you see in me. I'm committing to becoming that version that is going to impact all of these people, because that is what's going to take for me to achieve the life that I desire. And you don't do it like just because of that. You have to love what you do and you have to want to help people. But the way that you get to help more people is by becoming that ultimate version of you. And so get clear on who it is that you need to become, so then that way you can achieve the results that you desire. The results won't come before you become that version. It's 100% the truth. Okay. So moving right along, you have to take control of your life. You have to take responsibility of your results. You have to take responsibility for your actions. You have to make decisions about your life that may not be favorable to others, and you have to be okay with that. Because ultimately, this is your life. This is about you and what you want to achieve in this lifetime. And if you're not prepared to make decisions that are going to benefit you, but yet you don't want to upset other people, then are you really doing this for you, or are you doing it for other people? Meaning, like, other people's opinions should not play a part in what it is that you want to do or what it is that you want to achieve. And ultimately, you need to make decisions. You need to take responsibility of your journey. You need to take responsibility for the things that you're going to implement. You need to take responsibility for the things that you need to remove, because other people won't do that. They're not going to go, oh, she's now playing big, I'll just remove myself because I'm obviously a distraction. No one's going to do that. No one's going to say, hey, I have this awareness that she's now playing big, so I'll just move right along. No one's going to do that. You have to decide to distance yourself. You have to decide to adjust your behavior. You have to decide that you need to change your mindset. You need to change the way that you are showing up, that you need to change your routine. You need to maybe, tap into new nutrition. You maybe need to change your behavior. You maybe need to show up differently, sleep early, get up early. All of these things, you need to take control of your life. And you need to be making the decisions. Okay, moving right along. You also, coupled with that, need to set boundaries. And sometimes this is probably, this could be one of the most difficult things that you're going to do, especially with people that have had access to you for some time, that they're going to find it really challenging to see you moving differently and having less access to you. The reason why this is necessary is because at some point in time in your journey, you are more available to people because you are at their frequency, at their level, so to speak. And this doesn't make you better than them, by the way. It just means that you have different focus right now. This is what this is about. It's a different focus, it's a different awareness, and you're mastering your energy and your emotions differently than you did before. And that means that you are going to have to set boundaries and distance yourself from people that could potentially shift your energy. You're going to have to distance yourself from things that once upon a time may have totally kicked you out. You can make no apologies about that. You can't be sorry for the fact that you're going to move differently. You can't be sorry for the fact that you have bigger dreams, bolder dreams. You need to make bolder moves. You need to, move completely differently than they are. It's just, it is what it is. And you need to understand you're going to be making more of these the more that you play bigger. And it may seem foreign to people, but let them deal with it. You've got to look after you, and you've got to take responsibility for your journey. Okay. You also have to work at creating content that matters. And what I mean by that is, the content that you created 12 months ago, 2 years ago, is irrelevant to who you are right now. You need to be stepping into that ultimate version of you and create content that is in alignment with the version that you're becoming. And that's going to be scary. That's going to test you. That's going to make you experience imposter syndrome. That's going to make you feel like, you're not ready, but you are ready. This is just your subconscious. This is just your body trying to keep you safe and bring you back to safety. And you've got to push past that and understand that those thoughts, that content, and that energy and next level version of you is within you. And by you putting out that content, by you putting out those thoughts and you moving differently, you're starting to pull that version out of you. But you won't get there if you keep thinking, oh my goodness, I sound so silly. No. No one's going to believe that about me. Or, you know what? I don't want people to read that about me. But you know what? No one cares. No one cares. The right people need to hear. The right people need to read it. The right people need to see it. See, there's a world of people out there. There's a sea of people out there waiting for you to step into your next level. They're waiting for you to put out their content because they need to see it. They need to understand it. They need to know how you're going to help them. And you can't show that if you keep playing small simply because you're afraid of what they're going to say about you. It is what it is. And so your content needs to match your destination. Your content needs to match where you want to go and that version that you're becoming. I get excited about this because I've experienced this time and time again, and I see it in my clients as well. And I just love it. It just fires me up when they start pouring out of them the stuff that the goal that they've been holding on to simply because they've been afraid of stepping into that next level. But when you do, the people that get impacted is profound. You got to trust in that. You have to believe in that. You have to know that every single thing that you desire, every single thing that you think and you believe that you can do to help people is the truth. And that's all you need to hold on to. Okay. You also need to you need to decide that there are going to be times in your journey that you're going to have to pay for speed. You're going to have to compress time. And whether I mean, it's going to challenge you because at sometimes it's going to be quite substantial amount, but the amount of people that you're going to impact along the way, the results that you're going to achieve as a direct result of you making a commitment and investing yourself and taking that risk will far outweigh the pain of investment. And I say the pain because there really is no pain, to be quite honest. There isn't. Other than you handing over, your card or whatever. I mean, there is no pain. There's how can you have pain associated with something that's going to move you faster and get you there quicker? I mean, I'm just saying, right? Because at the end of the day, do you want to go and move at a snail's pace, or do you want to get there quicker so then that way you can help a ton of people quicker and you can help them move and achieve their results and you get to enjoy the spoils as well? But you've got to commit to the fact that there's going to be times where you're going to have to do that. Because figuring out for yourself is like, honestly, it's like pulling teeth. There is no joy. There is no joy in figuring it out for yourself. Find out who knows how to do things and pay for their expertise. Not only will you move faster, but you'll probably get a better result than you doing it yourself. Okay? You also have to raise your standard. Like, you have to understand that where you are right now is not where you're going to be when you decide to level up. The fact that you keep giving yourself an out, the fact that you just half-ass some of your tasks, your activities, is part of the reason why you're not where you want to be. You've got to raise your standard and commit to that level, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what's happening in your world, no matter what, what's happening around you, no matter what's happening politically around the world. You've got to raise your standard and keep your standard all the time. Because this is how you start embedding that behavior and embodying it, so it becomes part of you. Raising your standard is more than just more. It's a new way of being. It's actually producing a level within you, or producing a result that you didn't even know you had until you actually decided that another level was within you. And time again, I've proven that for myself when I just think, you know what, I don't know if I can produce better. And then I just decide, and then I do. And I believe that everybody has that capacity. It's just that you're either afraid of knowing what you're capable of, or you're too scared about what other people think. But at the end of the day, neither of them are going to get you there quicker. So you may as well just play big and go messy. Screw it up if you have to. But you're better off understanding where it is that you need to improve rather than just staying at the level that you're at. It's just, there is no person that I know that has achieved extraordinary like staying in comfort zone. It's just impossible to do that. Okay, second last thing, you need to improve your relationship with whatever source that you tap into. And for some people, they go, oh, but I don't do that. There is a higher power. I really do believe that. For me, it's God. And I make no apologies about that. I am forever speaking to God. I'm forever tapping into what He is asking for me to do. And, there are times where I'm right in the middle of mess, and I say to Him, what is it exactly that you need for me to do? Because I need some clarity. I'm confused, or I'm scared, or I need some guidance around exactly what you're asking me to do. But even still, I step in anyway. I step into the moment. I step into what I know that I've committed to. I've committed to this lifelong journey of impact. I've committed to this lifelong journey of just bettering myself, so then that way I can be an example for other women who want to achieve the same. But I can't just be someone of words. I have to be someone that takes action. And that is the way that I improve my relationship with God. By speaking to Him, by committing to the process, by sticking to it and being obedient. Because ultimately, I'm not going to be some flaky person that says that they're going to do something and then they just don't do it. And so by you improving your relationship with God, and if for you, if it's spirit, source, a higher power, not only will you, for me, it's daily, by the way, receive downloads, information that you need to continue on the path. You won't need confirmation. You won't need a sign. They just present because you're walking the path. The shifts happen. The breakthroughs, the aha moments, they just happen because you are trusting the fact that you are right where you are meant to be, and that you're committed to showing up no matter what, and that you said that you were going to do it. And simply by committing to your word and doing what you're saying and you're going to do it, and actually doing it, automatically improves the relationship. And it also improves the relationship with yourself, which is the last one. You need to be at one with yourself. You need to be absolutely clear of who you are. And the only way that you get to do that is by working on yourself every day. And in fact, this is 90% of the journey, is becoming the version that you are. Clearing out the gunk, getting rid of all this filter and this programming that has kept you safe for so long, and now becoming the ultimate version of you, becoming that version that you know that you are, that next level version, the one that you know is going to be on stage, the one that you know that is living the life that you desire, the one that's going out there and impacting with your words, with your actions, with your example. Improving the relationship with yourself is one of the biggest hacks that you can employ. But you can only get there when you spend time with yourself, when you journal your thoughts, when you understand your emotions, when you start getting clear on why you are the way you are. Because no one else is going to do that for you. Newsflash. And so to round off this podcast, I just want to say to you that everything is available for you. Everything. 100%. But you will never ever get there if you place importance on the exterior. The exterior is just a reflection on who you are internally. And so if you want to change your life, if you want to shift what's happening in your world right now, start getting clear on what's happening in here. What are you really made up of right now? What are you thinking about right now? What are you feeling right now? Those emotions, those thoughts, those behaviors are the very things that you need to get clear on. You need to understand, you need to dissect, and many times you need to remove. Because by removing the stuff, the behaviors, and everything else that you've done for so long, you start to get to the heart of who you really are. And that, my friends, is your next level. So with that being said, I thank you so much for being a part of this episode. I hope you got a lot of value. And if you want more content like this, hey, stay tuned because there's more of it. I highly recommend that if you are a high-achieving woman in business and you want to build beyond six figures, or you're a professional female in your career and you want to go to the top in your career, hop into my free Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/empower her legacy, which is my Empower Her group. And you'll be able to get all free masterclasses in there every single week. You can also hop into my LinkedIn newsletter, The Queen of the North. Just hop on to my LinkedIn profile, Elsa Morgan, and I have a newsletter, The Queen of the North. And believe me, there are so many people that are getting so much value out of there. I speak nothing but the truth. So if that's more your thing, hey baby, let's come on board for the ride with me. So with that being said, thanks so much for being a part of my episode. I look forward to seeing you next time. Hit the like, subscribe button and leave me a comment of what your best takeaway was. I'll see you on the next episode.